Institute again.
You signed those already?
And I'm working on these, I just did payroll.
That's fine. Go any way you want to do it.
Oh, I like to go through it.
I know that. Okay, are you ready? Meeting will now come to order. We'll all stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. This evening's agenda is, the minutes are in here somewhere, right?
Minutes are in your sign folder.
That one?
That one?
Okay.
I don't remember seeing
Did you go
that
through
one.
them, Mike?
I
Benjamin?
read, yes, I did.
The minutes?
Yeah, I got it on the internet. She emailed them to me.
Yep, I already saw them too. I make a motion. Have you read them?
Yes,
No,
I have.
I didn't get my email.
Right, maybe he has the folder. Do you have email?
Wow. There you go.
You know I don't. All right. You both signed them? So you make a motion to accept them as written?
I haven't signed them yet, but I'll make a motion. to
Did you
accept
read them?
Yeah.
Are there any changes,
I had,
additions,
I had no
etc.?
changes.
Okay, so there being no changes or additions as far as the minutes from Tuesday, March 26th, I'll entertain a motion to accept them as written or submitted.
I'll second that motion.
No, you made the motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
I thought you made the motion, George, I'm sorry.
No, I didn't. I said I would entertain a motion.
Okay.
I haven't read them, but as long as you both agree, I guess we don't have to worry about them. Neither one of you signed them, but
Well, I will hear it.
right now you will.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's hard, I don't have an electronic stamp on my iPhone.
You haven't got one?
No.
How come? Yeah, put your name on there if you agree with them. I guess you do, apparently. You said you do.
I already read them.
You made a motion, you accept them. Okay.
No, I seconded it. I made the original
This was-
motion, but my motion wasn't good enough.
That was a practice that we hadn't, what'd you do with them?
I put them in there.
He's got to sign.
Yeah.
Mr. Cargo. As long as we're doing it, we may as well do it right. This hasn't been done this way for years. To be honest with
And
you.
you've been involved how many years?
Too many. There were some people that decided they didn't want to do it apparently, so it just ended up, but years ago, it was always done. Actually,
I'm just gonna put them back in here.
we're all set then with minutes, okay. Either one of you read the certificate for
That's the basic.
authority for municipalities for the Citizens Bank, which we need to sign, right?
Those are for the credit cards.
Right.
Yep, that you're gonna give the department heads.
Yes.
You didn't put your name on here?
I can't put it on the, back.
No.
That's for you guys. The certificate of authority. It's the,
I know that, but never mind.
but on the other one, yes, I can.
We give her the authority to use them.
Right. But I did need to know who you wanted. Like, so far I have myself and Pete and, Tim and Joanne.
I would
Joanne, why she need one?
I don't know, that's what you said.
Department
That's what I'm
heads.
asking.
No.
You said department head, so I just wanted to know exactly.
No,
who
I
you
would
wanted.
say Jim Hex and David Leal.
Okay, also Jim and David? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think Joanne needs one though.
Okay.
I mean, if you have one here in the
Right.
office.
Should work.
This one here needs to be signed by me or you?
You need to make a motion as to who you want to sign that, just to accept the.
I'll make the
agreement
motion
with
that George signs it.
the chairman
I'll
of the
second
board.
that motion.
Okay.
As the chairman of the board, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion was made and seconded for the chairman of the board to sign this on
I wasn't even that formal, I just said George.
that's fine, second day of April. (2013). There we go. Now this one here is for you.
Yeah, that one I can, that is the one I'm using to put the department heads on there.
It's got your name on it. I guess. Oh, you need a signature on here too? Yep. Yep. Might as well do it. You saw me do it, Michael.
Yep.
You're not gonna turn me in later, right?
Nope, it's all on tape.
It's all on the record. I think I've covered everything now, haven't I? All right, so now this means, how long does it take to get these done? Not that there's gonna be any emergencies, hopefully.
I don't know how long it takes, probably 2
All
or
right,
3
so
minutes.
you got Roberta, Timothy Carpenter, Peter Goy, and Joanne, and
I'll
you want
take Joanne.
David Leo on there for sure.
And Jim
You
Hicks.
think Jim Hicks needs to be on there
Yes.
too, huh?
Yeah, emergency management.
In time of emergency, he can't go
Right.
find someone.
Yeah, and it's hard in an emergency to come to the town office and get a credit card.
Find someone to let him in if he can't get in the office, don't worry.
Well, he can get in here.
I need,
He probably can get in easier than we can.
Probably.
All right, you gotta sign here, Michael.
I did. Michael Conlon, second line.
I didn't even sign that side, did I? Do I need to?
Yeah, yeah, because we authorized you.
right, so you
Chairman
need
of
to
the
sign the
board.
first, on the,
Hmm? I don't, doesn't matter. One more time for my signature won't matter at this stage. Right? Witness. You're a notary?
yes, I'll do that after.
That is your signature.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I crack you
How'd
up.
you ever adapt that way? Huh?
It's just being the best at what you can, trying your hardest, always keeping a pleasant outlook.
I failed to say in the beginning, we don't have any appointments tonight, so nevertheless, that's why we're doing all this stuff and then anything else that may come before the board. Now, these are just for officers, I assume, right?
Yes. They need to be reappointed.
All right, have you seen this?
Oh,
Did you? What do you got there?
Back front.
That's something we need to, no?
That's payroll stuff.
and this is for the fire department, right?
Yes.
Well, my question would be before, all these people have all the proper documentation?
I asked David about it, and yes. As far as I know, they do. I can check again.
I think,
Well, do you have it on file for payroll?
For payroll, yes.
So they have all the proper
There's no one new
documentation
that I
for?
know of.
Okay.
I guess, I mean, and I guess that would be my question. Should we have a copy of that documentation in our folders here?
Yes, we have
Yes.
to have it,
Okay, so the one that says.
And as
no
long as you
up there-
say it's
there's a
there,
couple
we're
of
going to
those.
say that.
right.
Well, the reason David Leo probably, is his no or yes?
No, it's that person and this person. They're no longer with the department, I would gather. There's 3 no's.
No, I don't know about that one. This one, I don't think
No.
this one is, no. I don't believe he is.
Yeah, I mean, this came from David, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
So, I mean, I would hope that he knows who's there.
and there's 4 names there or whatever. But I think they still belong, don't they? What are you asking?
No, I'm
If she
asking,
had all the documentation? Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
If she can't, then they better get it.
yeah, I mean,
I
that's
mean,
the whole
if she
thing, is
doesn't-
do we have that as a backup in our file in case it ever happens where we have someone come in and audit us?
I will double check. As far as I know, I've asked, I just today found the Department of Labor report, so I started going through it.
Okay.
So I'm going to check and make sure everything was taken care of.
Well, you said you favor,
Dave
you
is-
you
Yeah, I'm
okay with it?
Yeah, I'm
Said
okay
that
with it.
It was.
Yeah, put your initials right there. Okay. You know what New Hampshire the Beautiful is?
That's, the little section on Turnpike Road that I live in.
The one you live on?
I'm just joking.
Okay. Well, this is a request from them. They New Ipswich, I believe they still belong to it. Right? Yeah, must, although they're applying it. We've got things from them before, so this is just a
Yeah.
request to order bags for cleanup day.
Yep.
She wants 10 cases, which is, how many in a case? You
I
remember?
don't know.
Whatever it is, but anyway, it's supposed to be enough, so. You agree with applying for this, right? Registering for it? And then they're supposed to send you the bags, I suppose.
Yes.
She'll have to put in here the date, and pick up and all that. I don't know what they are.
I'll make a motion that we accept doing that.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, then sign. We'll sign. Mary Ann for you. I thought Beth Ann's, oh yeah, that's primary contact. This is, they're running cleanup day. Is there anything special that you want for cleanup day? You better tell them. You know what cleanup day consists of, don't you? You ever been involved in it? You probably were as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
huh?
Yes, I was.
Remember those days?
Yes.
You went around, picked up? Were those the days when we were given prizes for the most unusual gift or whatever?
Unusual pickup.
Whatever you found,
Mm-hmm.
like on Willow Road, all the stuff that used to be down there. Down by Ronald's house. River Road,
Benny
Forget
Hill
what-
used to be decent.
that was quite a road, wasn't it?
Should have more
Hmm?
paperwork in there.
What?
Can I sign?
Yeah, you better. Okay, the other thing is that this is an announcement that we've, now offered direct deposit for payroll to all employees, no matter what, and if it's, even if it's more than one bank account, you can still apply, and if you got 2, 3, or whatever, it'll work. Roberta's assured me that there's no problem.
Well, no, what this is, they can do direct deposit and a check.
Right.
That seemed to be.
Multiple forms.
Multiple
Well,
forms
they
of
couldn't
pay.
before, right?
Right, so I just need you guys to approve that new policy.
That's
Okay.
good.
As long as you have no problems
I'll
with
make-
it.
I'll
No,
make
we've
a mo-
actually already,
I'll
this
make
is
a
the first
motion, we
week going
approve the
through.
new policy towards direct deposits and checks.
She already did it, because I think I saw.
I'll second that motion.
Where there was
Yes,
one
and I-
name in there that the guy didn't
And I
have.
didn't realize he had started this week, before you had approved that.
He had
so-
already done it?
I didn't know that. I had given him paperwork, but thought he would wait a week. And
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so that policy is now in effect. Okay, that's done. You better hang on to this. No,
I left it in the folder for her to
no,
go
I'm-
through.
Yeah, just give it a
I'm talking to
vote.
her. We don't wanna lose them.
I did that.
You already signed that? You did, didn't you? What a guy. It's hard for me to see your signature sometimes.
That's on purpose.
Is that everything in here now?
That's where the
Stephanie?
FBI comes.
I
did
thought
you do
so.
the purchase, Rick? I don't think you did.
No, I didn't, you're right. We had discussed this, no, we didn't discuss it before. I was thinking we had, but we never did formally. This is a request from David Leal, the fire chief. It's still the same thing. Town of New Ipswich requires the use of a purchase order on all purchases over $500. I bet you haven't even seen one of those since you've been here.
Nope,
As a
we had,
selectman.
we had discussed
You
that.
had the other one, that's what I
We
said,
had
we
dis-
discussed it, because where he got these, where this came from, I don't know. Unless it was something that the previous administrator had made up, because way back, a long time ago, actually, it was a number of years ago now, where it was changed to $1,500. It used to be 500 at one time. So, do you wanna change that figure before we go ahead and approve this? We approve it, I suppose. as long as it's-
Can I ask a question about your purchasing policy?
Go ahead.
I couldn't find one, and I'm not sure where it is or what the, do you want me to,
Why don't we develop one?
I was gonna say, do you want me to work on a
Yeah.
new one? Yeah.
Well, the
Does
policy
everyone-
basically was,
With
if
purchase
you can't find
requisitions.
it in written form, which it was in written form at one time, where it went to, I don't know, was that anything over $1,500 was supposed to be submitted for bids. Now, it probably doesn't apply, for example, to like hot top. The price of hot top is only one company, and it's even the other companies are comparable, but won't come here with hot top or do hot top and paving, I should say. So it's 70 some odd dollars a ton in place right now, right?
I don't know,
Oh, you didn't discuss it?
not yet.
You were the liaison with the,
Yeah, I haven't been down there this week.
you
I was
haven't
only
been
down-
there?
I was only there 2 days last week.
Oh, I wasn't there at all last week.
Well,
I left them alone. They get sick of seeing me.
you know, you're the one who said you could have been the liaison. You can still do highway.
will.
I
No, I
will
don't.
do only planning and
No,
conservation. I don't mind.
I don't need to. I'd rather have you do it.
All right then.
So I'll work on
I
it.
can
in
go
person,
there.
hopefully.
Yes,
go there,
please,
make
or
the
if you
ones
can
I
find
ask
one
you.
somewhere,
No.
that's fine.
You don't have to
Otherwise,
ask me
that's-
anything.
You wanna change the
Recreate one.
figure?
I'll come up, I'll bring one to you.
Should it
guys
be
next
more than
week and we can discuss
1,500?
it.
Well, why don't we have Roberta develop one and then we'll discuss it then.
Well, I think in this case here, what do we wanna do with it? 'Cause
I say we
he's gonna be
approve it
looking for-
tonight and just
Yeah.
leave it as is.
He's gonna be looking for an answer tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
They're things that he had put in his budget anyhow.
I think this was only made up, this must have been something she did, because it's only got place for one selectman or the town administrator.
I have no problem with that.
You want her to do it?
We'll make a motion that we approve the purchase orders. I'll make a motion that we approve both.
For the fire department.
Yeah, they're both the fire
He
department.
does
I
have,
understand, just,
this is turnout, what's that word?
turnout gear.
Fry P&L, that's a company.
$1,000,
Yep.
and this is $1,200.
And then there's one for 1,000.
1,500 too.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Oh, you know what it is?
What, there's 3 in here?
Yes.
Where is it?
No, he's got 2 on one sheet.
Oh, okay. I better get my glasses back, huh? You think I should, Michael? Well, guys, they replaced that. Okay, so who do you want to sign it?
The chairman of the board.
I'll second your motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. But you want a policy to,
Yeah,
you don't have to, it's always guesswork, I suppose, because
What
of,
would ever
you don't even
give
have
us
a
a policy
purchase
that would
order.
also
number.
work with you?
Yes.
You don't have a purchase order because he hasn't done it yet.
and you have your department head meeting tomorrow anyways. You can discuss, we can get their input on how they feel about what the break point is. I mean, obviously back, if there was a policy originally, say in 1972, at $500 was the threshold point. A few decades later, I think the threshold point's a little higher.
1972?
That was just a number I threw out there, because the
Yeah.
Dolphins were undefeated. That can
I
go
don't know
into.
if that policy was in effect in 1972. It
Um,
wasn't too many years after that.
what I'm saying, because times change and dollar values
Guess we're all
change.
set. Everything is in here that should be in here, right?
Believe so.
And that's that. Now, you both been through Beverly's statement?
No, I haven't looked at it yet.
See what the cash flow is and your balance on hand and all that? In the meantime, I'm gonna make this announcement, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Inventory forms, anyone who hasn't returned their inventory, the ones that detail your taxes with your map and lot number and so forth, remember they're due no later than April 15th, so, and if you don't have one, you can pick them up here at the town office naturally, but if you don't file it, there may or may not be a grace period, I think there is, but that's up to the Board of Assessors. It'll cost you $50 extra on your tax bill, so. For those out there who haven't done it, this is just a reminder. Info, do I need info? Did Lucy, you didn't talk to Lucia, you said? or
I have not talked to
Bob
Lucia, no, but I went through the
Okay.
stuff like I said we would for this week.
All right. What did you found out? You said you found out that,
Outside of that 1 minute's meetings,
okay, but the last one rescinded the action that had been taken previous to that, right?
that is correct.
And then there was recorded, I think, at the registry of deeds, right?
Yes.
I believe so. The question is, can they put more than anything, can they put a fence up there? What's your feeling about it?
Like I said last week, I feel that the person,
You haven't
It's-
changed your
it's-
mind then?
No, it's not a town road. That would basically be something running through your land. Why should people be able to drive through your land?
Well, it isn't running through their land,
Oh, okay, well,
It's just
but
on the road.
it's on, but
As long
it's private property.
and the
My-
road belongs to Richard Aho, right?
Yeah, so if Richard Aho wants to put a fence over there, that's
So
his
they'd have to
property.
make an agreement with Richard Aho to do it, wouldn't they?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
property owner has to do it, not someone soliciting it on behalf of the property owner. The person who has deed to that property is the one that has to do it. I couldn't say, me and you live on a private road, I can't
Which I
say,
did at one time.
I can't say that we can put a fence here even though you're the owner of that section of that property. You can't really, consider it as a road, you have to consider it as property. Because it's not an accepted town road.
No, it's not. And they wanna put it up at the end where it intersects with Cullen Road, right?
But that's the whole thing, I think the only person that could put a gate there would be the person who owns that section of property.
That's correct, which would be Mr.
And I don't think the town, in my opinion, and it's one person's opinion, has any say on them not doing that, but I think we would want to be able to talk to them about having access through that gate for an emergency or something,
You say to who?
to the property owner.
Did you find any of that information where there was an agreement like that way back?
I did
You
not
didn't
have
find
see
that?
any agreement like that between Mr. Lucier and Mr. Aho, but,
But there was one at one time.
okay, well,
A
I
long
did
time
not see
ago,
it in
because
there.
Didn't take place in this room, but another planning board meeting.
But I would tell Mr. Lucier to go to Mr. Aho, and
Yeah.
he should, in due diligence, go down anybody that has rights on that road and make sure everybody's all set with it.
Well, I think he's probably discussed that with him, I don't know, but what he's looking for is, as he said in this letter that he's written in.
You're talking about
Mr.
Mr.
Lucier.
Lucier, not the
Lucier.
property
But
owner of
Mr.
that.
Lucier is the one that feels that he has the liability, and I don't understand that, so.
But what I'm saying, before anything can be done, it has to be the owner of the property who actually started out the subdivision. And if he said to someone on a subdivision, you're gonna have two ways to exit the property, then he shouldn't be able to gate it.
That's right. That's why I was saying, everybody else that is deeded to that private road has to sign off on this.
Well, they didn't all sign off on a recent liability, apparently, if I remember right, which is recorded at the Registry of Deeds, that releases the town from a liability on private and class 6 roads or whatever.
And someone didn't do their due diligence at the
You know,
time.
It's probably me,
Wow.
I guess, I don't
But
know.
that would be my response to Mr. Lucier,
No, I
is to
know,
go to
some
Mr. Aho
didn't. Some didn't, but
and get,
Yeah.
and take care of it from there. As far as on the town side, it has to be the landowner that
Yeah,
puts
I-
up on a private road, any
It would
bar
be
or
like me
gate.
soliciting anyone to do something on your property.
you haven't called him and discussed it with him.
I have not called. I will if you would like me to.
Do
If
you
the board would
want?
like me to, I will go talk to him.
Well, he called me, what day was it, even after last Tuesday, and
Okay.
you got his phone number?
And I believe it's on the sheet right there in the.
I'll give it to you, I got it.
Sure
in my
thing.
head.
Write it right on the bottom of that, please.
Should be this one.
Okay.
It's only a cell phone, he doesn't.
You have any problems with that, Mike?
No?
Okay.
Neither do I. All right, you both went through this and signed it.
Yes, I did.
Yes, I do.
How much gas do we have on here?
What is that, 5?
Somewhere it says, I know it does.
Total liability is 1.8, and then our assets, but I think cash was 5 something,
5 something million?
500.
500,000?
That's liquid cash, I believe.
I'm just wondering, what the heck is it? I should know
I
where
thought it
it
was on the back page.
Beginning balance.
is. No. No. What's it? Yeah, 45. No, it's here somewhere. I know it is. No, just because I want it, I can't find it. See, last month was how much? 2 or 3 million?
Well, that's your total assets of availability.
No, that was actual cash on here. I don't think there's that much now, 'cause out of that comes school payments every,
Yeah.
Yep.
this is her projection. These are just figures basically that you hope will work out when she works this out. She has to do this
Yep.
Every
for
month.
the whole year.
Yep.
A projection, cash flow. And then if you were to have a TAN, a tax anticipation note, then she'd have to do a lot more. Apparently, we're in fairly good shape. She hasn't said anything. She hasn't said anything to you, has she, as far as getting short or anything? I hope not. Basketball, look at that, $920 from basketball.
Do you have
Pretty
any-
good, huh?
Do you have any questions about it? I can answer them for you.
I'll bet you can. No, I don't. Basketball program works fairly well, don't it, now, after you get all the bugs out of it?
It runs like clockwork.
It didn't for a while, in the beginning, did it?
One,
What?
one, a board of selectmen complained about the program which produces its own revenue paying for a building to be clean.
Which building? You mean,
When the program which takes income,
what are you
fees.
talking about, Appleton
Appleton,
Academy, where the gymnasium was all
Yeah.
ruined and Kathy
No,
had
it
a battle?
wasn't, no, it wasn't ruined. Basically, the program itself paid a cleaning company to come in, so the gymnasium would be all clean for the students when they'd go in on a,
Yeah,
on
but
a
they didn't
Monday.
do that in the beginning, did they?
No, but at the time, the other people ran the program.
She did.
No, Kathy Perrin never ran the program.
It wasn't her? She was involved in it?
No,
Yes, she
No.
was.
okay,
Maybe you're talking about a different one then.
I don't know.
How many years ago?
Put it this way, Kathy Perrin was never involved in the basketball program.
Well, how the heck did she get involved then? I don't know. He was a selectman and I was a
Oh,
selectman at
no,
the
and I
time.
remember you guys going to Marie saying that you shouldn't pay for cleaning the gymnasium of the school.
We did.
Yeah.
Don't ask me to remember anything.
Anyway, it was worked out eventually, right?
Oh, yeah,
I
they
think
cleaned it anyways.
It was what, $900 or
No,
something?
it was 400.
Huh, you sure? Seemed like it was a lot more than that.
And it came out of the revolving account.
Gary was involved in it, wasn't he?
Nope,
He wasn't either?
not with anything with the basketball program.
Oh, okay.
Could have been with the fitness program or something like
No,
that.
no, it was basketball.
No, I don't think so, not on my watch.
Then I guess that isn't the time then.
And so it had to have been something that happened over 7 years ago.
Oh, Marie was here when it happened.
No, I've been involved in the program for 7 years, so.
Anyway, it was done. Ended up, the school was complaining about the basketball program, weren't they? No,
I've never got a complaint.
it wasn't?
Why do you think I have keys to all the schools except for the
I don't
high
know.
school?
They trust you.
I guess so.
Anyway. Uh-oh, Mr. Coffee's here. I'm in trouble now.
He's a published author, he has to come in and,
He's a published author?
yeah.
Guys, did they print that stupid
Today.
thing I wrote?
What do you write? What'd you write?
About gambling in New Hampshire.
Basically tried to write something that said gambling ain't gonna save, ain't
No,
gonna.
it was a good article. I thought it was a real well-written article.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, the governor's delusional. You gotta rewind.
I mean,
I'll say that publicly.
I'm not looking at it from the governor's point or anything like that, but, alright, you have this big hole, so let's just say we're gonna get 80 million franchising fees, but what's gonna happen after that money?
It would be like you guys have to do a balanced budget. It'd be no different than you guys doing a balanced budget. It was so tilted, it was like that.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, $80 million in revenue for something that's now illegal, that's number one. And number two, if it became legal, it would take too long to get it built, to get the money anyway.
Is that what you came to report on?
No,
Oh,
but I did come for two reasons. I have two.
can you,
One, I wanted to mention.
you wanna wait 1 minute or 2 minutes,
Yeah,
whatever it takes, please?
I'm fine.
I'll do this and then, do you know where this is? What's your number at your house? Not that it
Oh, no,
matters.
this is,
What? It's not that one, is it?
no, this is down.
Is this something that's before the planning and zoning board right now? Do you know?
it might be, in front of the ZBA.
That's what I'm wondering. Joanne still in there?
I know-
Joanne still in there? She gone?
Yeah.
This is, if you go past, going up, you have,
Well, it says something about the intersection of Trick and, 123,
yeah, but
124
it's
there.
past there. No, it's,
Past it? No,
yeah.
that isn't the one up by your house.
no, but it's the same people.
What?
If you're driving down 124, right?
Down here,
Yep, you have,
past the mobile,
yep,
on the left-hand side?
yes, can I talk for a second? You have the elementary school, the old elementary school.
Right.
You go up the hill, you have the road, you go, it's before Tritnick. There's one house before Tritnick, because you have the house, you remember whether we had the beaver problem?
Yeah,
You have to drive down to that house.
Yeah.
That's actually down the hill from Tritnick.
yeah.
So when you come up and you take a right, you have the first house, it's the second house right after that.
The second house,
Yep,
really?
yeah,
They wanna put a flower shop in there?
yeah, a flower and gift shop.
What?
The house on the corner used to be owned by
What?
both Thayer's father.
No.
Is that where you are?
No, you're talking about the one down the hill, is Susan Murphy's.
Yeah,
On
not
the
her
left-hand
house.
side.
You
What?
come up, then there's some vacant, there's a little bit of vacant land, then you have the first house, the second, it's the
Well,
second
the big old
house.
house that's there,
Yeah,
where,
they've been doing some work on it, you
where Cindy parents used to, or mother used to live
I-
at one time.
don't know the names.
No,
I just know,
Hmm?
I know what you mean.
You do?
Kinda.
yeah, I
And
just
that's the
know,
place that they want,
yep,
you said that's before ZBA, or,
I think it's before ZBA, I'm not sure.
we gotta find out, before that goes back. They have to have an answer within a certain amount of time,
Alright,
whether they conform to the zoning or not. If they don't, then they won't get, why would they be looking for a driveway access?
maybe they
They're
wanna
gonna
do
be going in
something,
and around it?
maybe they wanna do something more with the driveway.
All right. I guess they do. They apply to the state.
Yeah.
They have to get approval from them. All right. We'll need to get that information.
661, so yeah, 5.
You got planning board tomorrow night?
Yeah, we do.
6:51?
No, it's 5:45. The, our meeting's at 7, but this is 5:45 Turnpike.
All right. Well,
I mean, that is,
I thought it was the
That
other one
is
coming
zone-
back that we had the problem with.
no, it's a couple up from that,
All right.
I think 2.
We don't know where that one stands right now anyway, the other one.
No, that's because, not that one, but the one next to it, there's something going on with that too.
In between?
Yeah, you know, again, until there's facts and things go out.
I haven't heard that
No.
one. That's owned by the people that live up on the corner of King Road. Used to be a veterinarian.
Yeah,
lived
see,
there.
that's the thing, not knowing the exact numbers in the streets of the, you know.
I don't
street-
either, that's
don't
why I
wanna-
asked you
I
what
don't
your
wanna,
number
I don't
was.
wanna mine's 124,
I can't wait to read this in the minutes.
I know.
Good luck.
I bet she don't put, she won't put it all in the
A
minute.
discussion ensued.
Yeah,
Okay.
a discussion of hypotheticals.
We will,
Put that on a rubber stamp.
just put in there, we will contact the land use manager to see if anything in the works with the boards before it goes back is approved to Kevin Belanger in District 4 in Swansea. Or it actually will go to the state, I suppose, in Concord. Okay, this one here is from Roberta, who said that she talked to Paul Sanderson at LGC regarding the warrant article for building number 2, the one that didn't pass this year, and the question as to whether funds can be used for maintenance, security, etc. His answer was yes, as long as the town defeated demolition of the building. That means the intent is for the town to keep the building, and expenditures can be made for proper care of the building as needed. And monies cannot be spent for any kind of demolition or debris removal. Okay, is that,
That's what I told you,
you did?
basically, last week.
My question was the year before's.
Yeah, but that warrant article's already gone because you've gone on to a new one.
I understand that, but I don't know how long those carry out. That was
Which
my-
one? The other one?
Yeah.
Well, as far as, you can't go down there and renovate and do all that stuff, I don't think. I think what he's saying, basically, correct me if I'm
Yeah.
wrong, is that you can spend money on it if you have to. if
See,
you have
I
to
just,
for,
I disagree with you on that
emergency.
point too.
Why?
if there was a benefactor in the town that said, look, I wanna give you $1 million to renovate that building. You can go and renovate that building,
You can?
yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, because someone's making a donation towards renovating the building. You are not expending town funds.
Was not the way it was stated last spring.
We're not dealing with last spring, we're dealing with now.
Well, that's why I wanted to ask
Yeah,
that
I know.
question.
Okay,
because
if somebody
it's
gives you
updated
$1
for
million
now.
But when you guys were talking like you couldn't repair a broken window in the building.
That wasn't what I was saying at
Ah.
the time, but that's fine. My question is how long does last spring's vote count?
Well,
Because
we-
what we were told last spring was we could not touch the building at all.
That's what was said,
Yeah,
you're
but we
right.
didn't encumber the zero amount.
Encumber the zero amount? You didn't.
Okay.
But anyway, so this, what's your, I mean,
My interpretation of that is you can't spend any money to do anything destructive to that building.
destructive, only destructive.
That's my
But you can
interpretation.
do things to
You can
improve it.
demolish.
No, and I would not do anything to update that building to any type of emergency management or anything like that until you had another town vote on that.
No, I know that.
But you can spend money for repairs and maintenance that you need to do to keep the building from falling to disrepair.
Yes.
That's what that means.
That's my interpretation of it.
All right.
I'll second that interpretation.
You second it? I'll second it. I can't second it. You already did. Okay, you made the motion to spend money on it as needed, if it's needed.
Yeah, I mean,
But it has to be
I
a,
didn't make any motion to spend money.
you know?
The debate
No,
was.
you made a motion to, if it needs maintenance, et cetera, then you
Yeah.
do it.
No, I mean, obviously, if someone came by and broke a window, obviously, part of building maintenance in the town is that you repair the window.
Something was to happen to
should
the
be,
water
shouldn't it?
pump, we would take
Yeah.
care of the water pump.
Yeah.
Of course, there are people that don't want you to do that, I'm sure, but anyway. No, I don't disagree with that, but I think that you can't do an all-out renovation program and go through all kinds of things.
Unless
I don't
you.
know what your interpretation is.
Unless you're gonna have someone donate $1 million, then you could do whatever you want,
You
because it's
can?
non-public money.
Give me the answer.
Oh,
If he gets $1 million,
I don't have-
can he take that and use it?
He can accept it as a gift and he could use it,
He-
yes.
he
It's not
can?
town funds, yes.
How come we can't
You have
take
to
money?
hold the hearing first.
You'd have to hold the hearing, you accept it, 3195B.
You can't put any money toward it,
Right.
nope, no matching funds.
but I wouldn't worry about it, it's just really,
You don't think,
Hypothetical question.
Yeah, it's all theoretical.
you don't think anybody's gonna give $1 million, Jimmy? No, generous benefactor.
But I would think that if somebody tried to give you $1 million to demolish the building, you'd be on shaky ground. Because I think
No, the voters already spoke, so you couldn't really accept that
The
gift.
prior year's vote was replaced by the next
Yep,
vote, because the subject is like right on top of
Yep.
it, yeah. But
Okay,
anyway,
I got one more thing, then we'll take you, how's
I'm
that?
actually here for a reason.
I-
Okay.
Well, I hope so, I hope.
Other than
Oh,
saying-
no, you're always welcome to come and just visit, because I know how much you like to visit selectmen's meetings after sitting in so many for 25, 30 years,
Well,
whatever it
reminds
is.
me- It reminds me why I'm not doing it.
What? Why you not doing it?
Why I'm not doing it again. 8
Okay.
times was enough, George.
Just, this is from Kentucky, how many times, 8?
8,
You did 8?
I did 8.
I thought you did more than that.
No,
No,
just
8 times 3 is 24.
I actually did, it comes out to 22. The first one I did was a 1-year term to see if I liked it or not,
That was when he was,
They never gave me that option.
that was his first time as an assessor, remember that?
but I've been an assessor too.
You were before that.
I know
Okay, this is from Kentucky Valley Transportation, and they're, what their name used to be? It wasn't Monadnock, they're part of United Way anyway. So they're thanking us for the gift that we gave them for $500 that was included in the article this year for warrant, so just a note of appreciation and thanks from them. Hopefully we've helped them in some small way. I would hope they get more than that from all other areas. They do a lot of good things. Remember the old what was it, Monadnock, not nurses, Nursing associations, that's what it was.
Visiting nurse.
Yeah, those, it's about the same thing, I guess. They just keep changing their name. Okay, now,
In my job in another town, which has a different fiscal year, I just finished the budget.
you just finished the budget?
The budget hearing is a week from Monday. You can come and enjoy it if you want to.
What do you want, a different fiscal year?
Yeah,
Oh,
you know what?
you don't have Senate Bill too?
No, we don't have Senate Bill too.
Aren't you lucky?
But when you go in the alternate fiscal year, you don't have as much money to keep your cash flow going. The trick is getting there. You need a 1.5-year budget. And I guess Ringe found out the hard way.
Apparently they did, didn't they? I don't know what they're doing now. They're gonna have another meeting?
I
Yeah?
I would think a couple of.
Well, don't they
meetings,
still have to
something
raise some
work out
money
there.
somehow?
What?
Don't they still have to raise some money somehow?
Yeah, somehow, somewhere. Something, it sounds like poor planning.
Well, the
You
first
should
year,
always should always leave yourself an out.
if you're gonna go for the 18-month thing, it's
Yeah.
the worst year anyway, because you got extra 6 months, naturally. You think this town would ever go for that?
Well, I mean, your taxes adjust anyways
Is
after,
it, in the end, in the end.
yeah,
you
it's
get
just
what
still
you pay
paying the
for.
same,
Yeah.
You do, it's just up front that,
yeah.
What you really do
you know,
is instead of paying for your town in the middle,
mm,
okay, right now you pay for your town at the end of the fiscal year. But you have a mid-year payment.
well,
But if you did one tax bill, it'd be in December for the year, right? What you really do is you wind up collecting money up front. You still have the same times that you collect it, but in June, you're collecting money with a July 1st date for expenses starting in July 1. So, a lot of times, the hardest time for a town is usually in late April and May, because all the heavy buying takes place first when the department heads all run to the hardware store. And so what happens is you run low on money, but now you got money coming in, and you're not gonna have a town meeting till mid-May, so, you know, it works out good. So your fund balance doesn't have to be as big. So, you know, if you have a significant fund balance, you could use that in the time.
the biggest thing we ever did was go to semi-annual billing.
Yeah, it makes a lot of difference.
I think we only borrowed one tax anticipation note since that time, and that was back when the assessors, the Board of Assessors didn't have, well, all the assessments weren't done and the tax bills were gonna be late, right?
Yeah.
So,
And that can happen at the end of the year, you know, if you're at the end of the year, you did a reval and it's running late or something.
anyway, what do you got, Mr. Coffey?
Well,
Representative James?
I came in because, as you know, we have a lawsuit with, let me get this right, with Fairpoint, and we have a BTLA case with Public Service. I may have these backwards, but I don't think I do. Anyway, and we're in with a group of towns. I get to see this from multiple perspectives, so we're with a group of towns. San Souci is the engineering company involved, and there's a law firm, and we get built. And one of the things I have mentioned is that some of the mail comes to Board of Selectmen, because they automatically send it to the Board of Selectmen. I've asked them to correct it to Board of Assessors, not that I don't want you involved, they do. But when I was thinking about that, and I was talking to the folks at San Souci Engineering, and I'm thinking in terms of filling our hilltops with windmills and the pilot programs that go with them, which I'm not very happy with the way some of those pilot programs work out. It does raise the question of, in a town that has a Board of Assessors, who actually approves the pilot program. And so all I was gonna suggest is that, you know, looking ahead, that we should have some idea how we wanna do that. I don't think the Board of Assessors should solely do a pilot program. Yes, that's a little bit different. I think maybe a collaboration between the two boards would work good. I just wanted to mention that.
No, I definitely think that's a great idea.
And I don't wanna get into it right now,
No.
but two windmills aren't gonna do us any good. You can kiss that idea goodbye as far as your tax bill goes. I don't wanna get into whether or not we need wind energy in the state of New Hampshire, we don't. Neither here nor there.
It's all public anyway, that part of it.
Right.
It's a fact that if these windmills, do start generating power, that it's gonna go out of the state anyway.
It almost doesn't matter, George, they generate so little power around here.
I understand that, but it's just a fact
Then
that,
they send it out of state.
I will be back in a second.
but they're using, an excuse or whatever you wanna call it for having windmills throughout the state of New Hampshire or wherever is, because New Hampshire needs the energy and is, the power, the needs are higher than what they're producing, and it's not true.
I don't wanna throw out any numbers right now, but when I was talking to them, we kicked some numbers around. First of all, when the windmill goes in, it gets a big tax break going in, okay? And then they have accelerated depreciation on these things. And so, if you look at what a couple of windmills do for us, as far as income, knowing our tax rate and everything else, and how they'd probably be assessed under a guess at pilots, okay? And what they might bring in revenue. And then you discover that a high percentage of that money is gonna leave here as additional payments, additional assessments to the school. So who benefits with the windmill? Greenville. I mean, on the school piece, because now we are a bigger piece of it and we send more money over. The same with the counties and the statewide property tax, the whole thing. So we have these things that we pay into. And the more assets we have, the more we pay into them. So you don't get to keep all the money. So in the end result to the taxpayer here, it's not much, there isn't much to be gained, and Leinster has lost money because they set themselves up in a very poor way.
And part of that, even though they, at one time they were saying that it was gonna be a big benefit, didn't turn out that way tax-wise either, if I
Well,
remember.
I think Leinster had a big benefit in year one. All the money landed in the town's coffers. Okay, and here's
Yeah,
what happened.
but year one, if you remember a few years ago that the energy company that made up that sheet there with the
Oh,
list of
yeah,
what
yeah.
towns are gonna, what it's gonna receive each year, of course, it drops, but.
Well, it's not, you can receive a lot of money, but then you can end up paying out more than you're getting as a result of the formulas. Because what happens is that they look at the value, let's say you have a value on it. And let's just look at this property valuation.
Well, you'd have to have a value, but it
The state
depreciates.
equalizes a year and a half or 2 years, is old when they do it. You have accelerated depreciation. So they are using old high numbers. And when you bill out, you're using lower numbers, and all these formulas are sucking money out of you. And that's how Leinster went in the hole. But
Anyway,
I just wanted to say that we should think about how we would do a pilot, and I'm not saying that we should go crazy, but I mean, I would like to see us work together, because,
see,
two boards.
I don't mind working together, but I really think that's an assessor's issue because of the fact that you do all the other utilities and everything else.
I know, but the pilot's a contract with the town, too. So
Oh, yeah,
I think if we actually work together,
Well, that would
and we have
happen
a
anyway.
consensus, that's the best thing that can
But
happen.
as far as taxes and assessments, et
Yeah.
cetera, it's really
Well,
not.
right, we're the only ones, we're the ones that do the assessing, the abating, and write the warrants and everything else, but,
Now, give us, you were talking about casinos earlier, right?
yeah. I do not, okay, if somebody wants to gamble, it's their own business, okay? But, do I think casinos or, you know, slot machines proliferating all over the state of New Hampshire are good for the state and good for the economy and good for the people? No, I don't think they are. And I'm not looking at it from some sort of moralistic point of view, I'm looking at it from what I think a practical point of view.
Realistic probably, but, because I think it's just,
If you
even though
build-
it's gonna start out in Salem, is that right?
Well, I mean, that's the textbook place, they say they're gonna put it in Salem, and here's the big thing. We gotta build it right away in Salem to get it on the Mass border, because you know Mass is gonna build 3 casinos.
Mhm.
Well, if Mass builds 3 casinos with a bigger population, much bigger population, are those people gonna come running over here because we have something better? What are they gonna do? Pick up a pack of cigarettes, 20 cents cheaper? While they're here, I mean, they're not gonna drive all the way up to go gambling if you have something down there. So they're gonna have 3 of them scattered around Massachusetts. So the bill, the Senate bill that came across, that's coming across, has in it 1 casino. It creates a whole regulatory bureaucracy, part of which is to go and find, do a study as to where else you can put these things. So, this is what I believe. I believe that if everybody around us is gonna have them, maybe we're better off without them, and if we should have one, then we just build the best one, after everybody else has done their thing. So, but if you spend money, if any of us use our discretionary income in a gambling place, well, some of the money goes to the state, the rest of it goes right out of town. The people working there are usually low-wage earners. They don't make much money. So you're really not recycling the money through the local economy as well as you might if you use that discretionary income on other things in the state, or other.
What do they anticipate the state would take in? The estimated amount?
I don't recall, the 1 casino.
There was an
$80 million?
$80 million franchise fee.
Well, it's a franchise fee that the governor put in her budget.
Is that a
$80
one-time deal?
million franchise fee as income to offset the spending.
They would have to put up a $500 million bond, or was it 400, before they built anything.
It's,
The numbers don't jive.
the numbers don't jive, and now go look at where you have casinos. Connecticut is one of the highest tax states in the country, and I believe Foxwoods is in trouble. I don't know about Mohegan's side. West Virginia, I read, had to bail out a casino. I mean, these things, Atlantic,
Was
have
it
you ever
Delaware
been to
or Maryland?
Atlantic City? What did it do for Atlantic City? It's been there for what, 15, 20 years?
Oh, it's been more than 20 years.
Maybe
that's been there.
25 years, right?
Oh, yeah, it was the early, I thought it
You
was
got a
like
couple
the
of high rises
mid-70s.
with gambling in it, and the rest of the place looks like who did it and ran. It didn't do anything.
Yeah, Nicky Scaffo did all the concrete work down there.
Well, probably some people in the concrete. But
Oh, there
anyway,
definitely is.
but, I mean, so what has it done? It hasn't done anything, okay, positive. So I don't see it as a positive thing. And the thing is, and I don't know this because I don't play them, but from what I've read, the new electronic slot machines are very, very addictive to people. You know,
No more than the old fashioned where I don't
But-
think.
No,
I think they're all
I'm-
addictive to the right style
Oh,
person,
yeah,
no matter
yeah.
what it is.
Right, but I'm told they're even more addictive and they're easy to set up. But I think it's a little different if you go to a racetrack and you watch a race or something like that. I mean, sure, you can waste all your money there. But these things they're gambling factories. And that's really what they are. And really what some people are advocating is like setting up a slot room.
If you go out to the West Coast, any of those up and down there, all it is bus trip after bus trip of people on Social Security, something to do for the day.
Yeah.
It's plain and simple. That's the bread and butter of those slots. And the same way in Atlantic City or anywhere else. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's why
Something
they're in
to
business.
sit and take their time because they have nothing else to do.
One of the things that they have seen in some of them is that when you get close to where these facilities are, when they're built, you'll see other types of,
Well, vice and violence.
well, you'll see some of that, but you'll see other things. You'll see some of the restaurants will close, other things will close in the area, okay? because this thing sort of sucks it out. I don't know, I mean, I haven't done my homework on it to a huge degree. I just don't think that we should rush off and do something half-cocked because we're gonna save the budget.
What do you think the consensus is in the House of
House?
Representatives? Yeah,
This is an issue that crosses party lines,
I know that.
okay? I would be surprised if the Senate bill passes. I think this gambling bill is gonna go down. And I'll tell you another reason why, is that there are people who are not against gambling, but they're against licensing one casino, in that they feel you created a monopoly and you violated the New Hampshire Constitution. Some of these folks feel that if you're gonna license slot machines, anybody that owns a restaurant, a bar, or a store can put one in. And so you have a certain element of people that feel that way, and I don't disagree with them. I think creating a monopoly, and some people feel the only way you can have a monopoly is for the state to operate it. I don't know if we want that.
Well, look at the state lottery. Scratch tickets from the state. They're the only people who operate scratch tickets.
Yeah,
That's a monopoly.
oh yeah, the state, but the state could do it, it wouldn't be a violation, but for me to give, for you to have a license
Oh, no,
to run a
obviously.
casino, and nobody else could have it, just because you had the pile of money to buy it.
No, there's a lot of problems with that. And if you look at the population base of New Hampshire, how many people, what do you think is the gross population of New Hampshire that actually goes to somewhere like Foxwoods? Or Atlantic City on a regular basis? Because you need to have regular
Well,
customers.
we've only got like, what, a little over 1.3 million people in the state?
That's what I'm
So-
saying.
We don't have the masses of people. I mean, Atlantic City's in New Jersey, one of the most populous states in the country per square mile.
Well, I mean, even look at, when you're talking about Mohegan Sun and Foxwood, they feed off New York City and Massachusetts.
You know they come across Long Island Sound by boat?
Yeah.
And they get picked up by buses and taken
Yeah,
up?
they come off Orient Point and they go, I'm trying to think what the stop is.
Yeah, they come into New London.
Yeah, New London,
Yeah.
exactly.
What'd you think of that the gas tank, that passed? To
Well, I guess
people
that
gas
passed
tank?
the House, but it's off to the Senate. What do I think of that?
Mhm.
I think we have to put more money into our roads and bridges, but I don't think we have to go that far, number one. And number two, I think if we took the money we now collect for gas taxes and had it more focused on the physical roads and bridges, it would go further.
So basically, not all the gas taxes go to the roads.
It's spread out over.
It's just like anything else, it goes in the general fund and then gets redistributed for a portion
Well,
of it.
What I've read is that in the, actually we're voting on it tomorrow, in House Bill 1 and 2, but the House raised a lot of fees. I don't know what the Senate's gonna do with that. They just kept jacking up this fee and that fee. But normally, if I understand it correctly, in order to take money out of a dedicated fund and move, let's say, some of that money that's surplus to the general fund or to another fund, takes a vote of the House. My understanding is that in what we got coming at us now is that is a built in there is a statute that would allow that to be done not by the whole House, but to be done by a 6-member select committee, which basically gives the governor a chance to.
The governor would select the committee?
I'm not sure who picks the committee. Let's say it's the Speaker of the House. The Speaker of the House is gonna do what the governor says.
Yeah, I mean, whoever has the majority in the House, if it's the Speaker of the House.
Yeah, so what it comes down to, it's almost, I mean, I could use the term license to steal, but that might be a bit much, but I think I could use it.
Did you
Yeah,
say you're
I
voting
just-
on it tomorrow?
Yeah,
Oh, I thought you didn't vote on it yet.
no, not yet.
The cigarette tax you did though, right?
I voted against that. 2/3 of the people that smoke are low income, or lower income than average. Gonna jack up a tax on them, we shouldn't be smoking anyway.
Well, isn't that what the
But then most of us
motivation
used to
supposed,
smoke.
isn't that the hidden motivation supposedly?
Yeah, I mean,
to
it's a
discourage
it's a
people from
syntax.
It's
smoking?
always the motivation, but
But
it becomes a real nice revenue source, so.
It's,
We
Yeah.
don't want people to stop smoking. We want them to all run out and light up.
you do?
Everybody but me.
If you
can't
wanna
do
build
it
that
around
revenue
it.
base, you do.
Yeah,
I mean, that's why they tax
many years did
alcohol
you
and
smoke?
tobacco, they're sin taxes.
quite a few.
It took you a while before you stopped, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. And then when I did, I just stopped. But I never smoked like 3 or 4 packs a day or anything like
No,
that.
no, I know. I know how you used to smoke.
But, you know, the thing is that it, you know, sooner or later, we gotta pay for what we want. If I want something, I ought to go pay for it.
And the state doesn't have to have a balanced budget.
It just,
Yes, by law, the state has to have a balanced budget. The revenues have got to equal or exceed
The
the
expenditures.
spending.
Alright.
However, you sit down with a 6-pack of beer and do a couple of 6-packs and do the revenues and, you know, have them all distorted, you can make it look balanced until you get halfway through it and discover it's tilt. So, you gotta be honest with yourself.
I mean, because it appears that there's a shortfall in revenues compared to what the spending is.
There's two schools of thought. Some people feel that it's not a revenue problem, revenues are adequate, it's a spending problem.
Yeah.
Other people feel that we don't spend enough and therefore we have a revenue problem. And I don't wanna get into that, but
I'm not a person that wants to pay more money, but if I use roads, if you're telling me that a portion of my gasoline that I put in my tank to drive my car over that road is actually gonna pay to have those roads fixed, as long as all that money I'm paying goes to that, I have no problem with that.
But if I take 20% of what you got going, what you paid not going into the roads,
Going somewhere
and I
else.
spin it off to something you don't like,
Well, no, if you spin it off to anything,
right?
I mean, if you're taxing fuel for the roads, all that money should go to the roads.
Hunters and fishermen pay for maintaining certain things in the outdoors.
Yeah, through hunting licenses.
The fact that we have more wildlife around here than we had 100 years ago is in part hunters and fishermen,
Mhm.
okay? And reforestation of land didn't hurt, but they had a lot to do with it, okay? And, you know, if somebody was to jack up the hunting and fishing license and then spend 10% or 20% of what I pay off into some other thing, that fee becomes a tax. It's really no longer a fee, it's a tax. So, we're doing.
a lot of them are. That's the way they've evolved through the years anyway,
Right.
so.
I mean, and George, you've known me for a long time, I don't believe in not spending on something to get the job done, but I don't wanna see us waste money either.
No, why, I mean, that's just logical. It just, you know, we're gonna raise the gas tax because we wanna repair bridges, roads, but we're gonna spin off 5, 10, 15, 20% of it to something else.
I can tell you.
That's not
I can tell you
being
that-
truthful.
and I don't know how bad it was, but I can show you one town. The Department of Transportation put out a list of red listed bridges. A red listed bridge, that means the bridge is dangerous to go over. Well, it doesn't mean it's dangerous, it means it needs something, okay?
Within a certain
And
length of
I
time.
happen to know 3 or 4 towns real well. And one of the towns I know real well is Hillsborough. And it had a long list of red listed bridges. Every one of its, almost every one of its historic stone arch bridges were red listed. No, they don't meet modern bridge standards, but there's a way to go around them with a logging truck. You don't have to go over them, okay? Pickup trucks and cars can go over them. They can hold almost anything, by the nature of their, they were red listing historic bridges. Those ought to be in a different category. They
Oh,
were
yeah.
swelling the numbers.
Well, it's just like, why don't they put covered bridges in the category then too?
Yeah, well, I think they did. And they also had a red listed bridge, for something that they refused to give bridge aid for because it's a class 5 highway owned by a village district. They refused to give bridge aid to village districts, not by law, they just refused. So they were padding the numbers, in my book. At least I had an example of it.
We
So
gotta,
if I'm not comfortable with what you're giving me as the data to do something, I'm gonna get nervous and I'm gonna wanna see it set up better.
You got a stone bridge under that green bridge down
I
there.
know that.
Yeah. And that's still gonna be there when they get done with the new bridge, so.
I don't know why we just don't take the old one out and drive over
Well,
that.
the engineers apparently didn't,
It's got a bit of a dip to it. You seen it? You know where it is? If you go around the corner and pull over, you can, by the mill and look upstream, you'll see it.
I know,
It's one of the largest stone arch bridges in the state. But unlike most of them that come up very high, that get thin at the top, this looks like the Great Wall of China with a hole in the bottom.
no, that one don't do that.
Yeah. You do know, George, the first one that fell over.
I didn't know that. I wasn't here
I
then.
read it, I wasn't here either.
I heard about that too.
What year was that?
Huh?
What year was it?
In
1800 what?
1817, they built the bridge. It was still
Okay.
the Turnpike Company. They built that bridge there. Probably replaced something made out of wood, okay? And after they built this thing, it fell over. I don't know if there was a storm or what, but it literally went like that. So, by 1820, they had it rebuilt, and I know there were supposedly some lawsuits, I don't know what happened.
The old Boston to Keene Turnpike?
Yeah, that was the old Boston Keene Highway.
Mhm.
Anyway, my main reason for coming down was to.
You don't have any other reports from the legislature? No announcements or anything? Hmm? Okay,
I met with our neighbors in Temple.
you said that before.
Yeah, I know. But
Oh, about the turbines? Windmill?
Yeah, and that, and other issues involving broadband infrastructure, or the lack of it in some neighborhoods.
Oh, yeah?
I know you don't care, George. You're not using your computer yet, are you?
I haven't got it, it's not hooked up.
You need to get your Ethernet cable all run through your house, right?
No, I don't have it.
It's taking up enough of your time.
Okay, Jimmy, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
It was, as always, it's a pleasure.
Yeah? That's 'cause you're sitting over there now instead of over here.
This is where I belong.
8 terms.
I've adjusted well. You guys have a nice evening.
You too.
Hey, take it easy.
Okay.
Give my regards to Broadway.
Oh, to Broadway?
Did you go to Pennsylvania the other day? You made it down and back?
I made it down and back, and I had a great time.
You drive that Mini Cooper down there?
No, my wife won't ride in that.
She won't ride in that?
That far. She
Oh.
said the ride's too hard and it's too small.
You had to go in her car.
She drove.
She drove?
I had a designated driver. It was good.
That's always the best when someone else
That's
drives.
'cause she said you drive too slow.
I'm not gonna tell you how fast I've had that car. I just don't try to get it.
We might have a younger viewing audience, and we wanna make sure they obey the speed laws.
He's got the camera on.
Yeah, we don't wanna
He's trying to
alarm,
sucker me in. I'll
we
think-
don't wanna alarm any of his constituents as far as out his speed on the road. Jimmy. Anything else? Let's see, what else we got?
I do, but I gotta go in non-public for mine.
You got anything,
I
Roberta?
do.
Okay.
Okay, Joe.
I do. I have a couple of things that I wanted to ask you guys about.
Okay.
There was quite a large warrant article passed for the pool repairs and upgrades, so that needs to get going. Do you want me, what is the plan
We
with
gotta
that?
put it out to bids, I
Well,
would
that's what I
think.
was saying. Do you want me to do an RFP and then?
Have you talked to Liz?
Put it out,
Did she
her and
talk
I
to
are
you
meeting
at all?
Monday, but that
Okay.
is something that I wanna see how we're going to handle it first.
We need to have a true set design of what's going to be done and
Exactly,
then
there's a
go out to
lot.
bids.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, it's got a tight timeline too.
it
so.
does. It has to be started soon, so.
You gotta put in a request for cap reserve from the trustees, right?
Yes, we do. 40,000 from the, that part I can do, but I just wanted to, see what the plan was
So
and
you do have a meeting with Liz, and when is it?
Monday. I'm meeting with Liz, but I'd like an idea of what the board would like and how you'd like to handle it. This is something that needs to be handled beyond the,
What time on Monday?
she hasn't come back. It'll probably be in the afternoon.
Can you
After
let me
school.
know, since I
Yeah.
got put on the rec as a selectman
Yep.
representative,
Yeah, I think pool falls.
under rec, and then you probably ought to have Peter, just because he oversees all of the town facilities,
Yep.
so he ought to be
Yep.
just involved with that.
Yep. Yeah, because you'll have to get
I
access.
don't know if you was.
Well,
involved.
just make sure if there's anything the town can do, we might as well.
You still got the original quotation?
I
Quote?
don't, that's what I was wondering, where the figure came
I don't know
from.
what,
Were
well,
there-
she had a price. It was
She
for-
she brought it.
Yeah, she had a price from one company.
But it was on a
But it
form.
was never sent out to bids.
No,
No, it was,
no,
she
it
called them and
definitely-
asked them to send a
Yeah.
quotation.
That company could
Which you
send
need
theirs
to
and
have
we'll
an
just.
idea of what it was going to cost, but now it should definitely have an RFP and
Right,
sent out for
and
bids.
it's
It
gotta-
has to.
You should have more than one.
And I
actually.
did have another company called
Especially
today,
at that
and-
large of a
That's
amount,
right.
because I know another one I'd send it to.
Yeah, and there was another company that called today and wanted to know what we were doing and when we were doing it. So
Good.
I would say in the end, I mean, ultimately it should be sent out, put out in the paper for
I-
bids and.
I would, I mean, because of how the taxpayers voted for that, I would probably try not to keep have them involved in a lot of the stuff, because I think the taxpayers also voted to do $600,000 worth of roads. I think they're gonna be hopefully pretty busy.
Well, I would hope
Preparing-
you would bid some of that out too, and make sure we're not overstressing the
Yeah.
town department, just to make sure we get everything
Well,
done that we
that's my
want.
second thing I wanted to discuss is the warrant articles for the road. That is something that needs to be.
George is a
start
member
going
of the
also.
road committee, right?
And Pete would like to come in, we've been discussing, apparently last fall, when you approved the budget, you put in money to lease a truck, his truck, a new truck, so,
Yep.
$37,000.
we need to start on that, he wants to order the truck, which needs to be ordered by the end
That's
of
still the
April.
price?
He's going to come in next week.
Yeah,
Okay.
And he wants to discuss
It's an
that,
he
international?
wants to discuss a couple options,
right,
What's
for
the
the
other
truck,
option?
because he's gonna have to get the 06 fixed.
Yeah, that's another
Yeah.
$7,000 if he
And
does.
then he's looking for to get at least a new truck. But I'm not, he was discussing something, I don't remember exactly how he followed through with that. Because at one time, he was thinking about trading the old 06 in for another, to get two trucks.
No, you're talking about the cab
The
and
one,
the chassis thing?
yeah, the one where he had,
Deal?
because the 06 had the transmission problem. But now they're gonna put a bracket on the transmission, and they said they've had some success with that.
You have?
Yeah,
I don't know, we spent almost $7,000 the last time, it's been fixed already at least once.
Yeah.
It's an '06, and
but I
I
mean,
can't
you,
see,
you get rid of an 06, but you keep a 98.
no, it's a
Yeah.
95.
Alright.
Don't matter, I would if it's a better truck. There's some trucks out there that was in that time
You
period
want
that
to
just
get
are
rid
No,
not a good
there's
truck.
Toyota, I mean, there's cars out there too, Toyotas.
Right, there's
recall.
just some years that
Yeah.
they're just not good
We wanted to
vehicles.
get rid of the 95 originally anyway, because that's the one that was hit or miss, and then all of a sudden the 2006 is
Been worse.
Yeah, but I mean, again, if the company feels they can repair it with a bracket putting in there, and they've had success with it, for $7,000, whoever he deals with.
The international dealer is
No,
Reed.
no,
I
no, I'm
think,
talking
somewhere.
about the 06, whatever.
That's where it came from originally, no, the '06 wouldn't have come from, the last one did.
Yeah.
The one we
But
just
I mean,
bought.
also, we have
We'll
to,
talk the roads at the same time with Peter next
right.
week,
He
plain and
wants, he's
simple.
coming in next week to talk about the truck
yeah.
and
We'll talk about the
and
roads.
He should have a plan of roads that he would like to
He
do.
actually
and-
should be here when Kim Sherrick.
Yeah, and
comes
he
in
ought,
also.
I would
Right.
assume he had met with his roads committee since
No,
either
yeah.
prior
Prior to what?
to them putting the warrant articles in.
Oh, yeah, that was done.
So they
Not-
should have a census of plan of if they passed, you guys had an idea, so.
Well,
Yeah.
there isn't.
But sometimes, I mean, dealing with a winter,
There's a
other
written
things get
plan.
washed out.
It wasn't in the town report,
What's that?
the written plan, the 10-year plan.
Yeah, there you go, buddy.
Yeah, but you guys should have a plan of exactly how you're going, which roads you're gonna hit off of this
That's
two
what it
warrant
is.
articles.
Yeah, right here.
Oh, the 2 warrant articles, yeah. They were starting with Temple Road for one, right?
Yeah,
Then
and then
The other one
Poor
was
Farm. No, the other one was Wheeler he was gonna do this year.
Wheeler.
Yeah, but he was saying something about Poor Farm because of the, whatever happened this winter.
You got Wheeler, Poor Farm, and Fox Farm. Fox Farm's the most expensive probably, because of the.
He doesn't even
culverts
have
and
Fox
stuff.
Farm on this.
Then River Road is down the road.
I-
No pun intended.
I just,
The engineering has gotta be done first.
there was one road that really got nailed this winter, that he was worried about. And that's why he was gonna talk to some people about maybe not doing Wheeler this year and doing that road instead. But, I mean, that's, again, something to do with
We're
the road
supposed to be
commission.
setting up a road committee meeting
Yeah, so,
for
I
the
mean,
next week or two.
I don't really wanna talk out of turn, you know.
Well,
There's
you're
a
not
reason why
talking
we got
about it,
that committee.
Okay.
What?
There's a reason why we have the committee.
There is?
I would hope so.
I haven't figured it out. I'm on it. We got 4 people, 5 people?
Yeah, you got the 5-year plan in here.
Well, that one was 5, yeah, but that's extended from back before. Ashby, it was started out with, Ashby was first, right? Upper Ashby, Lower Ashby. Then you go into, hopefully to Temple Road. Back Lane was up here
Now,
included.
when you're talking about Temple Road, what part of Temple Road are you doing?
From the intersection out to the, past the nunnery to the town line.
Alright,
Okay.
That's Temple Road.
okay.
This other part down here is actually Greenville Road.
No, no,
That wasn't part
I
of
was
it.
just wondering,
Even though it could very well be, probably.
I
There's no
mean,
point in doing anything from that road until the thing in Greenville is fixed.
no, and, like I said, I don't want anyone to think that, I don't think anyone, have you ever driven down Stoll?
Yeah,
That road's a mess.
why, what do you wanna do, pave it?
Well, I don't know, I mean, again, I'm not someone that's been on a road committee. I leave that up to the discretion of those people, but it's just like, you
We're
know,
trying to get the roads that have the most traffic,
okay,
that's what we're trying to do.
Well, Stoll has quite a bit
Yeah,
of traffic
yeah.
actually, because of the green farm going between, but it's not on the list right now, to be honest with you.
no, I just happen to drive down that road once in a while, and I wish I never took my car down it.
Well, people that live on Fox Farm probably
Oh,
would say the same thing.
People who drive down River Road say the same thing.
Well, we don't wanna fix River Road, we do the engineering, but don't fix that until the thing is fixed in Greenville. There's no point in spending all that money for all that traffic through there, what you're gonna get between the bridge and that, thing out in Greenville. I don't know which one's gonna be done first.
What thing on Greenville?
The mudslide.
That's supposed to
They're
be,
detouring everything down through here right now,
Yeah.
and when the bridge comes in, then people are gonna be detouring down River Road, right?
they're not gonna be able to get
Probably.
across from Greenville to the bridge.
They'll come back down, go down around by High Bridge and
For
up
me,
and around.
for me to come to a
Not
select,
you, though.
for me to come to a selectman meeting when that bridge is out, I'm gonna have to drive all the way down to Mason, take a right, go down through the back way.
Where Marcel Road and up
Yeah.
to Mason Road?
Oh, yeah,
You
and
going
then,
that way?
and then Ashby Road.
You might.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Which
So,
one?
so River Road isn't really that feasible for Greenville people when that detours.
No, not as much as it could have been in the beginning. If you had left the bridge in a half, doing only half at a time, there still would have been traffic going
Yeah.
back and forth. There would have been a lot of traffic on River Road even then. By doing the whole bridge at once, you save 6 months construction time. Putting a temporary bridge down there by High Bridge, by High Bridge Mills, that temporary bridge will save you 6 months on construction. So, if they ever get to it, it's slated
Wow.
for,
What, 2017 now?
no, I don't think so, not that one, but it could be before it gets done. Don't forget, this one out here took 15 years or more before they ever connected the two. You don't remember that?
No.
It started in
Do you have
1970, the
anything else?
first
That's what
year I
I'm
was a selectman, and it never got done until, like, 20-some odd years as a selectman.
Roberta does have some other business for us too.
Yeah.
I've been reading minutes, trying to catch up with what's been going on, and I don't see, some of the stuff I just don't see any follow-up in the next meeting, so I just need you to explain to me. I did see that there's a CDBG, loan or grant out there for Traditions Village.
That's gone by the
It's
board.
done, okay,
Yep.
because I didn't see a follow-up afterwards.
Yep, that's gone by the board.
Okay, and what was that?
Basically, there's a piece of property off Temple Road that they were gonna put a rehabilitation clinic there. And they're trying to get bank financing, but the bank financing fell through and.
Okay, so the CDBG
Yep.
grant is gone.
As of right now, it is. And it was SCAT, in case somebody ever comes to you and talks about SCAT, that's where it's at. That was a shooting range for, people used to go out there for leisurely shooting on weekends and stuff.
Okay, and Warwick Mills?
Warwick
That-
Mills is still in effect.
Yeah.
That's this bridge we're talking about, part of it.
Okay,
Basically, that there There shouldn't be much longer on that, though. That was to build the biofuel plant,
Mhm.
plant.
Yeah, and they're
And
getting
that-
that wrapped up.
That's working with Southwest Regional and, what's the guy's name?
So there is a grant in effect right now for that? or-
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just the handlers of the money, it's the
Right,
town.
right, it's the company or the,
Well, they're using
These are the town.
different
as a-
grants and funds that they had to use the town as a fund.
Everything that goes
Okay.
through there
Transfer.
has to come through us, and
but the paperwork has to be done
Yeah.
here in
the
town.
chairman,
so
the
just-
chairman of
Yes.
the board of selectmen is
Yes.
generally the one that signs it,
Yeah.
whoever it
Okay,
may be.
So I'll look into that and see.
Well, you
I'll
should find,
contact,
who?
whoever, Rebecca or whoever the.
Yeah,
the
Rebecca was
contact is.
involved in that.
Is she? Okay, yeah.
I think she's still there.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
she's still there, I just didn't know who.
Then
she
there's,
was
Rebecca
definitely
Bullock,
here for the
yeah.
What's
meeting.
that other guy's name? You had him in Winchester before, with the other group, but he works with Southwest. Jack, not Jack, is it Jack? Can't think of his name. You
I
remember.
don't
He came with,
Yeah, I
he came with
Rebecca.
Bullock.
Yep.
That's her last name, right? Rebecca Bullock?
Okay, so I'll contact her and discuss
She
that.
lives in, yeah, she lives in Fitzwilliam. You can stop at a house on your way home.
Yeah, I'll just,
Anything else?
that's it for now. I mean,
Okay, that's the community block grants that we have right
Yes.
now.
Yep.
And the Furnace Brook, you
Yeah, I was
probably
wondering
had
about
questions
too.
about that,
Yes,
right?
Yep.
I don't know where we stand. What you should, I was gonna,
Now, what is that?
to clean up.
Okay,
The town received,
It's $10,000, isn't it?
no, more than that.
Before. But I thought this phase was $10,000
It's a,
Yeah. that we can match with labor.
is that the one that was 119,000 total? We match it with labor or work in kind, wherever the highway department works or whatever, they keep track of the hours, and it's all used towards that.
Yeah, I mean, we had renewed it this year in like December.
Well, the thing is that if you found in your correspondence that there was a communication between the former administrator and a person in Concord, and which indicated that for some unknown reason, I don't know where the attitude came from, that the selectmen weren't interested in it. Did you ever see it? Probably not.
Yeah, I did read that.
There was an email which
Yeah,
came up later on down the road, but the person you're dealing with in Concord is basically Steve Landry. I don't know if you know him or not, from DES. And Forest Bell, you seen the bills for Forest Bell, FB? They're
okay,
out of
I'll look for
Maine.
those.
Roger's been paying bills off and on.
Okay,
They're consultants. You may want to talk to them, and the guy that, he's not with them anymore, the one that originally started out of Townsend, what was his name, Hickey?
no, I wasn't
Yeah,
involved in
I think it
that.
was
so
Jim-
who
Jim
actually is,
All right.
controlling this grant? Was it Southwest Regional Planning or who?
No, they're
No.
not involved in that one.
Okay.
This was
so who-
the town with DES, EPA, and all the rest of them
Okay,
as
so this is
far
a
as,
state grant,
Yeah.
yeah.
okay, all right.
And Steve Landry is the main guy. You find the other names, I can't think what the girl's name is that's involved in them. I'm trying to think, was there somebody from DE? No, it
And
wouldn't
so
be.
has the cleanup been done? at this
No,
No.
we're still continuing on. Last spring, was it? When
We
we,
did
when we did the
surveys.
surveys? When you went to people's houses?
Hmm,
Was it last spring?
yeah.
It's a nitrate type issue that they've got going on in
Okay.
the brook right now.
What we were
That's-
doing at that time was just a curiosity thing, if nothing else, finding out how many people knew where their septic system was and what
Okay.
shape their septic was and how old they were and so forth. And we went to 40 some odd, well, there were 40 some odd contacts that were made, and we did it on a Saturday, and two groups, I guess it was, so. But it worked out fairly well. We got quite a bit of information. I may want to do that one more time, I
Yeah, you
don't know.
probably
but-
have to.
but it works fairly well. So, but she should have a whole big, there should be a whole big file on that in there because it's been in motion now for, it was before you started
Yeah.
as a selectman. So,
I mean, and then when you're getting into that now, there's a piece of property, is it 8 Temple?
11.
11 Temple, that's kinda tied into it, it's a postage stamp lot, that's a No, it's a single family house, isn't it, or is that a two-family?
No, that was two that had
A
apartments.
two-family,
yes.
yeah, a two-family house the town owns that we kinda wanna try to get rid of, so that way we won't have anything going into Furnace Brook.
Okay.
We wanna get rid of the house and then get rid of the property, maybe
Well, I mean,
to
you
someone
know-
else, or use it for town use,
So
depending on what
possibly
we
It
choose.
demolish
was,
the house.
it was
Yes.
gonna be tied in basically with the Furnace Brook project if we could, and make some sort of an area down there in regards to picnic,
Yeah, rain
recreation
garden.
of some sort. We didn't
So,
wanna put another house
Has the house
down there.
been condemned, or is it
Hmm?
just not in the shape to?
We own it, it's
Yeah.
just not,
You
it's
just
in
want the
livable at
land,
this point.
okay.
We
Is it
had
taken
some,
by taxation?
we did have
I
some
believe
offers
so.
on it at one time, but in fact,
Yeah, but
I think it was you that instructed the former administrator to make up an ad for,
no.
Well, I made
board
a
did.
motion, we've all talked about it,
well,
yes,
she made it up for you,
yes, she did, I made the motion here at the meeting.
and we were gonna
We
advertise
were
it
going
and
to,
sell
but
it.
then we just decided to wait until
Just see what happened with ZBA. with the
ZBA
other
coming up
property
here
next
this week,
with,
Dollar General.
General.
the
Dollar
old central
General.
school.
Yeah.
Which leads me to another problem that may or may not be a problem, I don't know. There's supposedly a smell of septic in that neighborhood down there, and I don't know where it's coming from, supposedly. That somebody was complaining about the other day.
To the health officer?
Hmm?
Do they-
Well, we haven't found the health officer yet.
Oh,
We have to get in touch with her somehow.
yeah, I mean,
She's coming in tomorrow morning,
She is?
yes,
Okay. I'll tell you afterwards where it is.
to talk about cleanup day.
I don't wanna talk about it right
Yeah.
now on
Okay.
television. She's gonna talk about cleanup day? With who? You? Yeah?
And Mary,
is there anything
You
else?
wanna be involved in cleanup day?
Nope,
It'd be nice if the selectmen get back involved in it again,
that would be.
but they don't want us to.
No,
They
know,
kicked us right out.
I just don't know where I'm gonna be on that day, so I can't say,
Oh,
I
It's
can't
a
make.
Saturday morning,
Uh-huh.
always.
I brought two tires that have been sitting on the side of 124 for 6 months to the transfer station last Saturday.
Did you?
I got sick of seeing them on the side of 124. I put them in the back seat of my car and drove them to the transfer station.
That was good of you.
Well,
Hey, you did your cleanup day,
no, I have more to do, but
huh?
I clean up around my house.
Cleanup day
I
is a
clean
good
up
thing if
the
it goes
gullies in
right.
front of my house so I don't get
There's a lot of
mosquitoes.
things you can do on cleanup
Yeah.
day and get a lot of participation, but
The two ladies that have been doing cleanup day for the last 2 years have done a fantastic job.
okay.
I don't think they need me to meddle.
They don't need a medal?
They don't need me to meddle in what they're doing.
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna medal either.
Is that it?
I think so. I don't know. Is there anything else?
Ben wanted to go to non-public.
Yeah, I gotta go for legal
Oh.
litigation.
there's a
What?
non-public form in there.
He's going for what? Legal what?
Legal. That's the reason I'm going in the
Oh,
non-public,
it's
is because it's legal.
It's
Yeah,
legal.
I believe it's D, but I ain't positive on that.
Where was it? It's gonna
It's
be
right
in-
here. You have it.
You got it? Huh? How come you got it?
You can see.
E, okay. I move to go into non-public RSA 91-A, semicolon 3, Roman numeral 2, parentheses E, pending legal litigation.
I'll
E?
second that.
You said E?
E.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay.
Roll call.
Calls for a roll call vote. Mr. Conlon?
Aye.
Lawrence? Yes. Mr. Mr. Cargill?
Yes.
Okay, we're now in a non-public round.
Can you coming back in?
We will, but if there's any decisions that are made out of it, then we have to announce them publicly.
Okay.
There won't be, but that's fine.
Okay.